Hi, this is Lee. I was going to do a quick video to show how, say you have a distressed font and that's the font you want, you like it, but you don't want to cut it as a distressed font. You want it to be solid. I was just going to show a quick way to do that. It'll take me longer to go through it, but once you get the steps, then it's really quick actually. So this font is called Elegant and Sensational, and you can see that it's got all these little holes on the inside. If you were to send this to your cutting machine, it would take it forever and it would be tons of nodes and be really hard to cut and probably messy as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to change it so that so it's smooth. It doesn't have any openings on the inside. Now, right now this is text. If I look down here at my info bar, it says text. It has the wrong font listed. I don't know why. But we need to first change that to an object. So we're going to go to Path, Object to Path. Now if I look down here, you can see that that's a group of 5 objects. Whenever Inkscape converts a text to a path, it groups it. So in order to do anything else with this, we're going to need to ungroup it and union it. So we'll go to Object, Ungroup. My dog says hi. So now you can see that it's all ungrouped and we want it all together, so we go to Path, Union. All right, now it's all one object. Next thing we're going to do, and I'll show you, we're just going to break it apart. We're going to go to Path, Break Apart. And you can see what that does is that basically breaks it down into all its individual shapes. Now you can see that it also breaks down the middle of the letter shapes. Now one thing you can do is you can go in and pick those and select all of those and change their color, and then you can union those together and use those to subtract later on. If you're doing a really big set of words, then that might get a little clunky. So another way that you can do it, and this will make sense when I get to the next part, you can go to the paint bucket, make sure you're set to visible colors, threshold around like 50 if you're doing black and white, your grow shrink set to 0. Okay, now just go in. If you zoom in really close, the paint bucket will fill these in much more accurately. And so you just go through and fill those in. And then we're just going to select all of those. I'm going to click on one of them, right click, and then go down to Select Same, Fill Color. That select all of the things that are purple, and then I'm going to union those together. Okay? So that's just to use for subtraction later on. And like I said, if you're doing something and you can pick those out after you break it apart, you can just do it that way. That's fine. But sometimes it's a little more complicated to figure out which parts you need to keep and which parts you want to get rid of. And in that case, just use your paint bucket to fill them in. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and select my text again, which is now a path. And you can look down here and see it's got over 4,000 nodes, which is a ton of nodes. All right, so now I'm going to go to Path, Break Apart to break it down. It did that. Now I'm just going to union everything together. Path, Union. Okay, so now you can see if I pull those purple pieces off, it did fill in those, but we've got our paint bucket that we use, so I can just hold down Shift and select both of those, and then go to Path, Difference. Okay, and there it is. And you can see the final, instead of having 4,300 nodes, now it's got 263 nodes. So that's a lot better. That'll cut much more easily and you won't be messy. And that'll work pretty much with any distressed type of font. And if it's distressed on the outside, it won't fill those in. It has to be an enclosed space. You could go back and adjust nodes, or you could just have the outside cut a little bit jagged if you have a font like that. So I hope that helps you, and let me know if you have any questions.